which is exactly what I wanted. I have no idea what I want to read. Hint, hint, wink, wink. Pick a hell of a lot. I hate how quick these TBR videos always go. I'm just like, maybe not this month. Hi guys, welcome back to my channel and welcome if you're new. I hope you're all doing well and welcome back to my March TBR video. I have no obligations in March to read any books. I've skipped out on this month's book club because the books kind of weren't really my sort of vibe, books that I didn't want to purchase or read, so I skipped out on that month's book club, which is what's great about the book club that I'm part of, is that you can skip months if you're not really vibing with the books. So I have no reading obligations this month. In my content planning, I wasn't actually meant to film this video until a couple days later, but I want to film it now, hopefully to re-inspire me to read and pick up some books, because I'm kind of in a little bit of a slump, which is sad. It's my first slump of 2024. Hopefully it won't last very long, but we'll see. I'm kind of hoping this video kind of like reignites my love of reading. But other than that, I have no obligations to read any certain books this month. I do have some reading blog ideas I'd love to do. Some old that I've already done before and I would like to do again, and some brand new to my channel. So I have an exciting content creation month ahead of me. So let's just kind of see what books get pulled out of my jar this month, and then we'll just kind of go from there. So without further ado, let's jump into the first prompt. I think I'll still be picking 6 books this month. If you are new to my channel, hi, I basically just pull out prompts from the jar. It's very self-explanatory, and pick books that kind of match the prompt. And I usually pick 6 depending on kind of what my reading plans are for the month. I am going to still pick 6 and kind of like see where we go. So the first prompt is going to be, I'm going to give myself a couple of vetoes this month because I am in a slump and I don't want to force myself to read any books that might not be kind of like calling to me right now. But the first prompt is, it's stuck. The first prompt is foiling on cover. Foiling on cover, okay. Okay. Let me pull out some options and we can go from there. Because I have no idea what I want to read this month, it's not like I'm like, ooh, this book will fit that prompt because I really want to read it this month. I have no idea what I want to read, what's kind of calling to me. So the books on my TBR that have foiling on the cover is Once Upon a Broken Heart by Stephanie Garber, which could be a good shout. No, that's Spot UV. Completely different. If You Still Recognise Me by Cynthia So. The Secret Society of Irregular Witches. And I think that's it. I think these are the 3 books I need to pick between. So a cozy fantasy, a fantasy, and a YA contemporary. These 2 books are both on my 2024 priority TBR list. This one isn't. I don't really know what I want to go for. Like, I'm going to be really indecisive this month because, like I said, I'm in a slump. I don't really know what I'm feeling. I think it's going to be between these 2 because being in a slump, I don't want to get myself into a new fantasy world, a new fantasy series. I think that might just be a little bit too much for me right now. So it's between these 2, and I think I'm going to go for a YA just because I know it's going to be an easier read. So I'm going to go for If You Still Recognise Me by Cynthia So. This book basically follows our main character Elsie, who has a crush on Ada, the only person in the world who truly understands her. Unfortunately, they've never met in real life and Ada lives an ocean away. But Elsie has decided it's now or never to tell Ada how she feels. That is, until her long-lost best friend Joan walks back into her life. In a summer of repairing broken connections and building surprising new ones, Elsie realises she isn't as nearly as alone as she thought, but now she has a choice to make. So this is just a kind of your typical YA contemporary, potentially romance, and just looking through it, there was some mixed media. So this should be a quick, easy book for me, maybe to help me get out of my slump. So this is the first book on my TBR for March. Prompt number 2 is going to be It'll Be Great, hint, hint, wink, wink, if I got Mark picks as a prompt this month because of one of the vlogs that I have planned. Mark doesn't know this vlog's going to happen, but it hopefully will happen. We're going to go for this one. And this prompt is new to me author. Okay, lots of options for this one. I could pick a hell of a lot. Ooh, oh my god, just some examples. The Very Secret Society of Irregular Witches. Before I Let Go by Kennedy Ryan. I've never read any of her books before. I've never read Phoebe Luckhurst, Lock-In, and this book's been on my TBR forever. I could just randomly throw in a non-fiction. This is Not a Pity Memoir by Abby Morgan. I could put in like a thriller. This could be a good shout actually, because I'm in like a slump. This could be a fast-paced book, hopefully. Ghosted by Jen Ashworth. This was kind of gifted to me this month by Claire. And this could be a perfect pick for this month because it is kind of like a thriller, so it could be a quick, easy-paced book for me to read. Oh my god, there are so many options. I could pick another book off my 2024 TBR pile and go for Careless, which is another YA. Oh my god, there are so many options. I don't actually know. Ooh. A Witch's Guide to Fake Dating a Demon by Sarah Hawley. Or even Practice Makes Perfect by Sarah Adams. Ah! So many options. Do I be good and pick a book off my 2024 TBR again? I'm just kind of like, what am I feeling? I think no to a non-fiction. There are more books in my TBR trolley of authors I haven't read from before, but I don't want to like pull out every single book. So I might just kind of like pick between the ones I've already pulled out. I don't think I should go for a non-fiction just because I'm slumping. So I think it may potentially be between Ghosted or I think I'm a quick, easy romance. So like Practice Makes Perfect or Fake Dating, A Witch's Guide to Fake Dating a Demon. I think this one is screaming more like spring because of the flowers and stuff. I'm gonna go for Practice Makes Perfect by Sarah Adams. This was kind of gifted to me by Chloe from Chloe Reads Books. You all know her by now. For Christmas, very much appreciate. And this one sounds right up my alley. It says, how hard can it be to find the perfect match? We follow Annie, who is a florist and is determined to find someone who complements her life. But after overhearing her latest date describe her as so unbelievably boring, sad, Annie wonders if the problem might be her. And then sexy and tattooed Will Griffin is temporarily back in Rome, Kentucky, providing security for a pop star, Amelia Rose, in the build-up to her wedding to Annie's brother. Interesting connection, okay. He also has his own agenda, stay away from Annie and any attachments to the sleepy town, which becomes difficult when she enlists him to help fix her love life. Okay, this one sounds so cute. Yeah, so I think perfect for me right now is just an easy adult romance that I can just kind of like fall into and get really obsessed with the characters. So I'm going to pick this one for new to me author. Eee! Okay, so far so good in terms of my TBR picks. Hopefully it continues. Prompt number 3 is going to be... I'm going to go... Oh my god, they're all coming out at once. I'm going to go for this one, which is... Oh my god, you guys may not believe me. One word title. You guys may not believe me, but I was actually thinking, I'll keep Ghosted because that's obviously what I was picking between for Practice Makes Perfect. Because if one word title comes up, I can pick this one. You guys might not believe me, but I was totally thinking that. So I feel like the fates have decided that I should go for Ghosted by Jen Ashworth. But let me just see if there are any other books calling my name that I want to pick up that have one word in the title. And I don't actually think there is many. We have Careless by Kirsty Capes, a book that I keep calling out and a book that I never ever pick because I'm just not really that interested in it right now. And the only other 2 books that I have on my TBR that I could potentially read but I'm not really vibing is Love Struck by Laura Jane Williams, I can't bother to get them out, or Kismet by Luke Trendon. So I think I'm going to go for Ghosted by Jen Ashworth. This is, like I said, a thriller. Follows Laurie, whose husband disappears one ordinary morning, leaving behind his phone and wallet. For weeks she tells no one, carrying on her cleaning job at the university, visiting her tricky, dementia-suffering father, and holing up in her high-rise flat with a bottle to hand. When she finally reports him missing, the police are suspicious. What took her so long? Laurie can't fully explain her behaviour, even to herself, or the strange presence she sensed in the flat. Only when she looks back on the ensuing wreckage does she begin to understand and see how she might repair the damage. So this kind of like is a thriller mystery that follows a unreliable narrator because she's clearly likes a little bit to drink, and she's held back some information for the police about why her husband's gone missing, etc. So this one sounds really interesting, and it says inspired writing, irresistible reading. So hopefully this is a good one to pick, fingers crossed. But once again, thank you so much, Claire, for gifting me this book. I'm really, really excited to get to it. Prompt number 4 is going to be... I hate how quick these TBR videos always go. Because you're like, yeah, you're so excited to film, and then all of a sudden they're over, and it's so sad. Prompt number 4 is going to be... Oh, is that scroll and stop? Yeah, Scroll and Stop. I'm actually gonna veto this one, not because I'm not in the mood for it, but because we had it last month, and the book that kind of got me into a slump was a book off my ebooks TBR. So I'm just like, maybe not this month, maybe not. Maybe I just need to stick to physical books and really kind of like immerse myself in that like reading experience with like pages, physical writing. Physical writing, is that even a thing? I don't know. But like, you know what I mean, like the physical touch of a book kind of really helps me get out of a slump compared to like reading an ebook. So I'm gonna veto that one, and I'm gonna say that's my only veto. So whatever this prompt is gonna be, it's gonna be prompt number 4. And we're gonna go for this one. And this one is released this month. I feel like we had this one last month as well, because I picked The Partner Plot by Christina Forrest, I think is her name. I haven't read that one yet because it's still not out as I'm filming this. It's the 26th of February and it comes out on the 29th or the 27th. It might be out tomorrow actually. I've pre-ordered it. I do want to read it. But release this month, I'm going to go for March, just because obviously I've already picked a book that's coming out in February to read in my February TBR. So where's my phone? Let's see if there are any books out. I'm going to put book March 2024 book releases. Let's see what Goodreads has to offer. Sophie Gonzalez has a new book out. I've read one of her books before and it was fine. The No Girlfriend Rule. I'm literally just going off cover here. This is going to be tricky. I'm going to have to pick a book that I just really might not be interested in. And I know I said I'm not going to veto another one. But unless there's not a book, there's not really a book that I want to read that is coming out in March. Let me just check my own Goodreads shelf, which is books aren't released yet, and see if there's any ones for March. Yet to be released. I only have 9 on here. That's May, August. Oh, this one might be out in March. Well, that's May as well. No, okay. This one comes out in like October. The New Holly Bourne. That says April. What about Ali Hazelwood? June. And New Ashley Poston is June as well. Yeah. I don't have any that are out this month I want to read. So cheekily, I know I said I wasn't, but I'm going to veto again, because like I said in the beginning of the video, if I'm not really vibing with the prompt, there's no point in me trying to force myself to read a book I'm not really in the mood for because of my little slump. So this is my last veto. Hear me say that and then veto this prompt as well, but hopefully I can actually fulfill this prompt, and it is, You've Got to Be Kidding Me. Not released this year. That one I can do because obviously I've got my physical TBR and I can just pick a book from there. Not released this year. When did Sophie Kinsella's book come out? I kindly got given this by Kayla because she was unhauling it and she saw my wishlist video and said, hey, I'm unhauling this, do you want it? I saw it was in your wishlist video and I was like, oh my god, I would love that. So when did this book come out? Say like the end of 2023, please. I would love to read this month. Yes! Okay, I'm gonna pick this one. This came out at the end of 2023, so not this year. Yay. And this one I heard from Books Nest. I read my first Sophie Kinsella last year, The Party Crasher, and absolutely loved the writing. It was so funny, so comical, and just like the perfect kind of like feel good, lift me up. This is just a fun book to read. So I was really interested to read Sophie Kinsella's newest release, The Burnout, because this one follows someone who is creatively burnt out and ends up taking a little bit of a break from her working life. So it basically follows Sasha, who's well and truly over it all. Work, all-consuming, friendships on the back burner, sex life non-existent, Sasha has hit a brick wall. Armed with the good intentions to drink kale smoothies, try yoga, and find solitude, she heads to the Devon resort she's loved as a child. But it's off-season, the hotel is falling apart, and now she has to share the beach with someone else, a grumpy, stressed-out guy called Finn. How can she commune to nature when he's sitting on a rock watching her, especially when they don't agree on burnout cures? Sasha's manifesting, wild swimming, secret Mars bars, Finn drinking whiskey. But when curious messages start appearing on the beach, Sasha and Finn are forced to begin talking about everything. What's the mystery, why they both burnt out, and what exactly is manifesting anyway? They might just discover they have more in common than they think. Oh my god, this sounds so cute. Okay, oh my god, yes, definitely I'm gonna pick this one for not released this year. Finally, a prompt I can fulfill. Oh my god, this TBR is shaping out to be a good one, and just like I thought, this video is getting me excited to read again. So if I start my March TBR early, no, you didn't. You didn't see me do that, but I may just have to. The book that I'm hoping will pull me out of my slump is my reread of I Heart Hawaii by Lindsay Kelk, which is on my February TBR. And once I finish filming this video and done all my chores for the day, because it is Sunday when I'm filming this, I'm hoping I can just sit down and just absorb myself in one of my favourite worlds, which is the I Heart series world, and just get myself out of my slump today. So that is the plan, but doing this TBR video is making me excited to sit down and actually physically read. So prompt number 5 is going to be, I'm getting excited. Let's go for this one. Popular on BookTube. Popular on BookTube, okay. Okay, interesting. Popular on BookTube. Popular on BookTube. If you guys have been following my channel for a while, you know that I don't like to read popular books on BookTube. So I don't have many options for this one. The only kind of few that I can think of is Before I Let Go by Kennedy Ryan. Although not currently popular on BookTube, this book kind of took my sort of universe of BookTube by storm, because those are the kind of people that I follow last year or the year before when it came out, so this is definitely an option. Also, Secret Society of Irregular Witches also kind of took the BookTube world by storm. And then the other option I think I'll have to pick between, because I don't think any other books on my TBR are kind of massively popular on BookTube, because I do have It Starts With Us by Connie Hoover, but I don't think I'm going to read it anytime soon, or if ever. It was a free book given to me by my sister from her work, so it's not like that big of a deal if I don't ever get around to it. The last one, Ramble Over, is Once Upon a Broken Heart by Stephanie Garber. I do have like a romance, a YA contemporary, an adult contemporary, and a thriller on here. I don't have a fantasy. So is it my time to pick like a new fantasy series, or is it my chance to just pick up a cozy fantasy? And I'm kind of thinking I'm going to go for this one, just because I know that I can get cozy with fantasy, but I'm not kind of committing myself to an entire series. And I have tried to start this book before. I tried to start reading it at the end of last year, and I was enjoying it, but once again I was in a slump at that point in my life when I was trying to read this book, so I definitely think it was more of a me problem rather than a book problem. And this basically follows our main character Mika Moon, who follows 3 rules. Hide your magic, keep your head down, and stay away from other witches. Mika is good at being alone, and she doesn't mind it, mostly. But when she's invited to teach 3 young witches at the mysterious nowhere house, Mika jumps at a chance for a different life. As she comes to care for its quirky inhabitants, and Jamie, the handsome but prickly librarian, belonging somewhere finally feels like a real possibility. But magic isn't the only danger in the world. Is it worth risking everything to protect the found family Mika didn't know she was looking for? And this kind of really gives me the same sort of vibes and feelings of House on the Cerulean Sea by TJ Klune, which I loved. So I'm definitely kind of, yes, in the mood to pick up this book and kind of see what all the hype is about, and I definitely think it qualifies for being popular on BookTube. So that was the 5th book. So our final book. Sad, although I'm really vibing with the selection of books we've got here. So come on, book number 6, be a good one, please. I'm gonna go right at the bottom and hope that we haven't had this prompt before and go for this one. And it is, I can't even read it. Can you guys read it? I think it's blurry. Okay, what does it say, guys? It says previous TBR. Okay, that's really exciting, because if you guys know or haven't watched that video, I'll link it up above, but how I figured out what my TBR priority list was going to be for 2024 was that I went back to every single TBR video I did in 2023 and picked all the books I didn't read from those videos and those TBRs to put on my 2024 priority list, so I could pick any of those books and it will qualify for being on a previous TBR. So let me get out my reading journal, let me figure out what books I still have to read off that list, because I'm actually doing quite well. Let's go to my 2024 TBR list. Here it is. Okay, so I've already got If You Still Recognise Me on my TBR for this month, so that will tick that one off. The Real Easy, Friends with Strangers, The Very Secret Society of Witches is on it as well. So I could get 2 books off my 2024 TBR list this month if I read my March TBR already, which is exciting. So I think, because I don't actually have that many others, I have Careless, A Magic Steeped in Poison, New From Here, Real Easy, Friends and Strangers, Mistakes Were Made, If You Still Recognise Me, This Is Not a Pity Memoir, and The Very Secret Society of Irregular Witches left to read. I'm like, do I just go for this one and get it off my TBR? because this is a YA book about a young female character who found out she's pregnant at 16. It's 3:04 on a hot sticky day in June. Bess finds out she's pregnant. She could tell her social worker Henry, but he's useless. She could tell her foster mother Lisa, but she won't understand. She ought to tell Boy, but she hasn't spoken to him in weeks. Bess knows more than anyone that love doesn't come without conditions, but this isn't a love story. I thought when I first picked this book up that it was an adult, and then when I started reading it, but because I have started reading it, that it was a YA, I kind of got put off by it because I was like, wait, this kind of plot doesn't sit in my head as a YA, it sits in my head as an adult. But it is a YA, but I think now I know that, I should give it another go and see if it is my thing. So I'm going to put this book on my TBR for the last book of March, for a book on a previous TBR, which does count because obviously my entire 2024 TBR list is of previous TBRs. So that's kind of worked out really well. So those are all the books on my March TBR. I'm actually really excited to go sit down and read now, which is exactly what I wanted from this video. So as a recap, we have You Still Recognise Me by Cynthia So, for Foiling on the cover. Practice Makes Perfect by Sarah Adams as a new to me author. Ghosted by Jen Ashworth for a one-word title. The Burnout by Sophie Kinsella for not released this year. The Secret Society of Irregular Witches by Sanju Mandana for popular on BookTube, and Careless by Kirsty Cates for on a previous TBR. And I'm actually really excited for this TBR. It's turned out perfectly. I've got a mixture of genres, I've got a mixture of kind of age categories, and it just seems like this will be the perfect TBR to hopefully pull me out of my slump. So I'm so excited. If you enjoyed this video, make sure you give it a massive thumbs up and subscribe down below to see future content from me. I do anything from book content, journaling content, reading vlogs, anything journaling and book related. I have it on this channel, so make sure to subscribe to don't miss future content. Leave a comment down below what's on your March TBR. Have you read any of these books before? Which ones should I prioritise? I would love to know. And without further ado, I'll see you in my next video. Bye guys.